It's Wednesday, June 28th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including an Easton EMT charged with impersonating a police officer, a mother and son charged with stealing thousands of dollars from a relative, and much more. Frank Rito, of course, joins us with a look at the forecast and later on a Nutmeg Sports Update, and Donald Ang will take a look back on this day in history. But first, an emergency medical technician with the Easton Volunteer Medical Service was arrested on charges of illegal possession of a firearm, impersonating a police officer, and possession of a controlled or incendiary device or material. 20-year-old Christopher Barlow of Duxbury, Massachusetts, who is part of a college live-in program at Easton EMS, was arrested on Monday in Plymouth, Massachusetts. A raid on his house and vehicle turned up illegal firearms, according to Duxbury Police. Barlow was arraigned yesterday in Plymouth District Court on the charges. He's being held on a $250,000 bail. Duxbury Police detectives obtained search and arrest warrants for Barlow after a long investigation. Police said information from other law enforcement agencies and from previous interviews showed that Barlow possessed fraudulent ID that was made to appear he was a law enforcement officer and that he had purchased parts to make several firearms. The ID and firearms were recovered during the search of the residence, police said, and the investigation was carried out with help from the Easton Police Department, Connecticut State Police, as well as U.S. Homeland Security and the FBI. Barlow, a student at Sacred Heart University, is Easton's first college live-in volunteer emergency medical technician. He graduated from Duxbury High School in 2015, and there's more on that story at eastoncourier.com. In other news, Shelton Police arrested a mother and son for allegedly stealing tens of thousands of dollars from an elderly relative's investment accounts. 62-year-old Christina Ukanowitz and Joseph Ukanowitz, who's 29 years old, and they both live on Canal Street in Shelton, are a mother and son. Now, they were both arrested on warrants following a 2-year investigation conducted by Detective Stephen Adcox into the theft of tens of thousands of dollars from Christina's mother, while Christina was power of attorney over her mother's finances. Now, according to police, that theft took place over a 3-year period while the victim was in her 80s. The victim's bank and investment accounts went from having a combined balance of over $200,000 to having a negative balance of over $1,000 during the time that Christina was power of attorney. Now, through an investigation, detectives showed a pattern of spending and withdrawals that increased disproportionately from the time period before Christina took over as power of attorney to her time as power of attorney. The investigation also identified Joseph as being involved in the theft. During interviews with both Christina and Joseph, each admitted to a role in the theft, but blamed each other for the majority of it. And in other news, the U.S. Marshals Violent Fugitive Task Force is seeking the public's help in looking for 2 sex offenders who have not complied with their court-ordered conditions of release. Now, Francisco Galata, who's 69 years old, and Koshawn Grace, who's 31, are both charged with failing to register as a sex offender. Police said both are known to frequent the Bridgeport area, and they're asking anyone with information to contact them at 203-410-9026. In Richfield, a female driver crashed her Mercedes into a Danbury Road business around 9:40 in the morning yesterday. Police and fire crews were responded to treat the woman and clear the accident. The woman was transported to Danbury Hospital, and there was no damage to the building, which is owned by Richfield Dental Arts. An officer on the scene told the Richfield Press the driver went over a small stone wall in front of the business before driving straight into the building. No charges have been filed yet in that accident. And Trumbull Police are looking for information on a male suspect who was seen on a bicycle at the scene of one of 2 residential burglaries on the morning of June 26 in town. Trumbull Police were called to homes on Walker Road and Thomas Street by residents there who reported their homes were entered. Police determined both burglaries happened around 9:30 in the morning on Monday. The suspect entered both homes, one of which was occupied by 2 elderly residents at the time, through windows and stole small items. Both houses are located off of Main Street between the Town Hall area and Stonehouse Road. Now, police were able to obtain a surveillance video of the suspect on his bicycle from one of the burglaries, and detectives are asking the public if they recall seeing or speaking to this male on Monday morning to contact police with any information. Now, the suspect description is a white, possibly Hispanic male with dark hair, a blue shirt over another light blue shirt, wearing a backpack and riding a bicycle. Trumbull Police are asking anyone with information to contact detectives at 203-261-3665. And in other news, Mamaroneck, New York resident 43-year-old William Ford, already with 2 previous DUI arrests, was stopped again driving impaired in New Canaan and without his ignition interlock device early Monday morning. This happened around 12:45 in the morning when a New Canaan police officer saw a vehicle disobey the red traffic signal at the intersection of New Norwalk Road and East Ave. Then the officer saw that vehicle travel northbound in the southbound lane, nearly colliding with the southbound vehicle. When the driver, Ford, was stopped, the officer detected the smell of alcohol on his breath. Ford failed a standardized field sobriety test and he was taken into custody. At New Canaan Police headquarters, he refused to take a blood alcohol concentration test, according to police. Now, Ford was arrested for illegally operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol, disobeying a traffic signal, as well as illegally operating a vehicle without an ignition device and failure to drive on the right. He was required to have an ignition interlock device on his vehicle because he had 2 previous DWI arrests from New York State. And Orange police are warning residents about first-floor window air conditioning units and how those can attract home burglars. Now, Orange police say following some simple tips can make your home more secure with window AC units. First, installing a screw through the air conditioner's top mounting rail into the window sash can help. Now, most window air conditioners include a drilled out hole to the top center to accommodate that. Police also say to prevent a burglar from pushing and forcing up the window to reach in underneath and shove the air conditioner, install window frame locks which prevent that motion. Those can be purchased at home improvement stores or you can make your own. Now, a window alarm is also an option, and many of those are battery powered and do not require any wiring to be run. On the window with the air conditioner, you can also install a burglar alarm decal on a window panel where it will be plainly visible. This alone, police say, may be enough to prevent break-ins, as a burglar may move along to an easier target. And those accordion side panels on an AC unit are a weak point. The accordion side panels of a unit can be bolstered by reinforcing the panels with heavier material like wood or metal. And finally, police say if you will be away from your home for an extended period of time, they say consider temporarily removing ground-level air conditioner units. And when the New Canaan School District handed out the punishments to some athletes involved in an Owen-Oak Ridge Road youth party, it should have stuck to the policy parents sign. That, according to Board of Education member Maria Naughton at the group's meeting June 19th. Now, the district gave mixed messages, she said, in response to Athletic Director Jay Egan's comments to the board. Now, the discipline under discussion was the alternative punishment given to 8 students who Egan described as involved in different ways with the highly publicized youth party that took place back in March, in which a boy who attended the party was sent to the hospital with head injuries. Those different ways that Egan referred to were an involvement in the procurement of alcohol for the party. Now, instead of imposing a 10-day probationary period in which the athletes would practice with their team but not play in games as called for in the policy, the district gave the parents and students the option to participate in a diversionary education program. That program was designed by the New Canaan Police Department. Every family that received the offer of the program took it. Now, Egan defended offering that program rather than suspending the players from games for 10 days, saying in 13 years as athletic director, I've tried on numerous occasions suspending athletes from games, sometimes very important games, but it hasn't changed their behavior. Now, there's much more on that story at ncadvertiser.com. But let's switch gears, throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Well, thank you, Kate. And we're looking at another great day around Fairfield County. Plenty of sunshine and comfortable temperatures reaching up to 83 degrees. We'll see an increase in cloud cover later on in the day and a light breeze around 15 miles per hour through the afternoon and into the evening, which should help cool conditions continue on overnight with mostly clear skies and a low of 63. A little warmer out tomorrow, but still plenty of sunshine as we get closer to the holiday weekend. A high of 86 for Thursday with a mix of sun and clouds through the afternoon. Partly cloudy and humid overnight, a low of 70. Plus, we could have a passing shower or thunderstorm in the area that will carry on to Friday morning. But it'll be breezy and a lot more humid out on Friday to start the weekend. Temperatures all the way back up into the low 90s, and that's what it feels like with wind gusts around 25 to 30 miles per hour. There'll be a mix of sun and clouds through the day. Humid overnight, temperatures falling into the low 70s along with partly cloudy skies as we head into Saturday morning. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's send it back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Ang joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and there's more local news after this.
Celebrate summer with fresh, made-to-order picnic boxes from Walter Stewart's Market. We have delicious summery selections from buttermilk fried chicken to grilled lemon chicken kebab, grilled shrimp Caesar salad wraps, or lobster salad rolls. Our easy-to-carry picnic boxes come with your choice of a meal, as well as a dessert, beverage, and utensils. Order online for simple pickup options. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and online at stewartsmarket.com.
School's out, the weather is hot, and the fish are biting. Whether you're heading to the beach or out on a boat, stop in at the dock shop before you go to fill your beach bag or tackle box with everything you'll need for fun in the sun. A new beach cover-up, some sunscreen, or just some bait, the dock shop has you covered from either location. 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. And yes, you heard that right. Bait is now available in Darien and Westport. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Did you know heart attacks and strokes are the leading cause of death in America? Protect the health of you and your loved ones. Talk to a doctor about heart disease. Hi, I'm Dr. David Pazer with ProHealth Physicians, encouraging you to stay informed about health matters that affect you.
ProHealth Physicians is on the pulse of social media to share information about health and nutrition with the community. Get up-to-the-minute alerts, including ProHealth Physicians' news and upcoming events. Connecticut's leading group of primary care doctors is just a click away.
I can't believe it.
Well, Dad, you did it. You sold 160 cars. Ready to go back upstairs now?
I think it's time. I wonder how the boys are making out in their new office. Not what I had in mind, Kyle. What, Dad?
Maybe we should retire. Right now, lease a 2017 Rogue S for only $139 a month. Isn't it time you got Millerized?
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this June 28th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. Time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng. Don.
Well, Kate, as always, an exciting day, ending with an exciting night in Vegas. First, though, we go to 1778. The American Continentals defeat the British at the Battle of Monmouth Courthouse for the first time, fighting the Redcoats to a standstill in the open field. Now, the battle is most famously known before she was a Jersey rest stop. Mary Hayes Macaulay, wife of American artilleryman William Macaulay, served as a water carrier, bringing water to the cannons to cool the guns and the gunners. Now, soldiers typically referred to camp women with the generic name Molly, and when the guns overheated, they would call out for Molly to bring a pitcher. When her husband collapsed in the 100-degree heat, Macaulay was the one who took his place at the gun and fired it for the rest of the fight. 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his wife Sophie assassinated in Sarajevo by a Bosnian Serb nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. It sets in motion a chain of events that would lead to World War I. The short version: Austria-Hungary, where Ferdinand was from, blamed Serbia, where Princip was from, and prepared for war. Serbia called on its traditional ally Russia, which announced it would defend Serbia. Germany began to mobilize to honor its commitment to Austria-Hungary, and Britain and France, who weren't involved in the Balkan situation at all, began mobilizing because of what the heck Germany was. Amazingly, those two deaths would lead to an estimated 18 million more over the next 5 years. 2000, 6-year-old Elian Gonzalez is returned to Cuba with his father. Now, the child had been at the center of an international custody dispute since his mother had drowned, bringing him here with her boyfriend. The courts would eventually rule that Gonzalez's father properly deserved custody, not his extended relatives, and as of 2016, Gonzalez has graduated with a degree in industrial engineering and has married his high school sweetheart, hopes to visit the U.S. with her one day. Finally, now we go to 1997, 20 years ago, incredibly, for this. So,
Frozen.
Video froze.
We can go back to Don if it's frozen.
Yep. That was Mike Tyson disqualified in the third round for biting off a piece of Evander Holyfield's ear. Now, the fight was delayed several minutes as referee Mills Lane debated what to do. His original decision was to disqualify Tyson, but after the ringside doctor examined Holyfield and determined that he could continue, the fight actually resumed. A few moments later, during another clinch, Tyson did it again, and Lane did not see it this time and did not stop the fight. So the two men continued. They walked back to their respective corners, and when the second bite was discovered, the fight was then stopped. 20 years ago today. The Sound and the Fury, if you remember it. That is your look back in history for today, June 28th, and I'm Donald Ing.
Thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, Richfield Little League is finally getting its new lighted baseball field off of Route 7. After months of deliberation and years of groundwork from Little League, the Planning and Zoning Commission moved to draft a resolution of approval for the ball field located at 2 Sanford Station Road on the Ridgefield-Reading border on Tuesday night. Now, over the course of 3 public hearings, neighbors spoke in strong opposition of the proposed site. Their concerns range from noise and traffic to environmental impact. Commissioner John Katz was the only member who did not vote in favor of the application, citing concerns to air pollution from Route 7 traffic brought forth by dissenting residents and attorneys at previous public hearings. But there's a lot more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And staying with sports, let's throw it over to Frank Granito for a Nutmeg Sports Update.
Thank you, Kate. And for the first time in more than a decade, there will be a new coach on the sidelines for the girls' soccer team down at Greenwich High. Athletic Director Gus Lindeen for the Cardinals announced Tuesday that Simon Rumbold will be the new coach of the Cardinals. He replaces Danny Simpson, who resigned after 12 seasons as the Greenwich coach, during which time, going back to 2005, Simpson won 4 FCAC tournament championships, including 3 straight between 2010 and 2012. There's more on this story at thegreenwichtime.com. Also, some big news out of the FCAC, well, out of the CIAC yesterday in regards to some football realignment. There are new schools moving around in the classes for the 2017 playoff divisions. The 2 biggest include Hill House and St. Joe's, who played in the Class M state championship game last season. Hill House is jumping up to Class L. St. Joe's going back down to Class S. Class LL saw the least changes, and it operates with 35 schools now after losing Farmington and gaining Naugatuck. Class L lost 6 schools and gained 6 schools. It will stay at number 34 for their total count. Class M lost 8, gained 7, and Class S lost 2 schools, Rockville and Ellington, but gained Lewis Mills and St. Joe's plus Valley, bringing it up to 38. There's more on this story at Game Time CMT, and we will talk about this later on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock with John Kovach and Kevin Coleman. That'll do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update. Let's send it back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, 7 Wilton husbands and wives laid to rest in Comstock Cemetery more than 2 centuries ago now have a dignified final resting place. The men were all veterans of the Revolutionary War, and their grave sites had fallen into serious disrepair. Well, the Drumhill chapter of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution has been working on restoring the half-acre cemetery on Ridgefield Road in Wilton for several years. Members have been assisted by a number of groups in Wilton and Ridgefield, including 2 Eagle Scout projects by members of Ridgefield BSA Troop 76. Now, they've cleaned up the cemetery, and this spring hundreds of daffodils planted by the chapter members last fall bloomed. However, many old gravestones desperately need repair. Assisting the chapter with repairs that have been completed were Will and Lisa Cornell of Beyond the Gravestone. Drumhill's Historic Preservation Chair Laura Stabell, also of Ridgefield, she said the chapter plans to continue fundraising efforts so gravestones of other family members of those patriots, as well as other individuals buried at the cemetery, can be restored. And Connecticut's Beardsley Zoo will celebrate their new Canada lynx kittens born in April with a gender announcement tomorrow, Thursday, June 29th at 11 a.m. Guests may donate $2 at the front gate to receive a scratch ticket, which reveals the kittens' genders. $5 will purchase a Team Boy or Team Girl bracelet, and $10 will purchase a pair of Team Boy or Team Girl sunglasses. Now, the gender reveal will take place in front of the lynx exhibit, and staff and guests will celebrate together. Those lynx kittens have been offered the opportunity to explore their exhibit, but Mom is very protective, according to the zoo, and they haven't made their first foray outside yet. The zoo says stay tuned, it may be any day, and part of the Beardsley Zoo's focus on animal welfare places the choice with the animals, particularly the lynx mother. All right, well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today on your coffee break after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Drive and Discover event. Now through June 30th.
You don't have to go far for authentic Neapolitan cuisine and renowned wood-fire pizza. Pizzeria Loretano of Bethel is a contemporary Italian bistro, specializing in authentic wood-fired brick oven pizza Napolitana. Pizzeria Loretano was named one of America's top 1,000 Italian restaurants in 2008 by Zagat, and recommended by Jane and Michael Stern on National Public Radio's Splendid Table. Located close to the Bethel Cinema, we focus on quality, and our food is always made to order. Join us for live jazz Sundays from 6 to 8. Find our schedule, menu, and more at pizzerialoretano.com and like us on Facebook.
Family and Children's Aid has been serving the community since 1809 and is now the largest outpatient children's mental health care provider in Western Connecticut. Our innovative services include providing shelter to homeless moms and children, substance abuse intervention, mental health counseling, and foster and adoptive services, among others. Our goal is to provide individuals and families a safe haven and hope for a brighter future. Find out more about us at fcaweb.org and call our Danbury campus at 203-748-5689. Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with the Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN network.
Welcome back to this Wednesday edition of your coffee break on the HAN network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. An emergency medical technician with the Easton Volunteer Medical Service was arrested on charges of illegal possession of a firearm, impersonating a police officer, and possession or control of an incendiary device or material. 20-year-old Christopher Barlow of Duxbury, Massachusetts, who's part of a college live-in program at Easton EMS, was arrested on Monday in Plymouth, Massachusetts. A raid on his house and vehicle turned up illegal firearms, according to Duxbury Police. Barlow was arraigned yesterday in Plymouth District Court on the charges, and he's being held on a $250,000 bond. Now, Duxbury Police detectives obtained search and arrest warrants for Barlow after a long investigation. Police had information from other law enforcement agencies and from previous interviews showed that Barlow possessed fraudulent ID that made it appear that he was a law enforcement officer and that he had purchased the parts to make several firearms. The ID and firearms were recovered during that search search of his residence, police said, and the investigation was carried out with help from the Easton Police Department, Connecticut State Police, as well as U.S. Homeland Security and the FBI. Barlow, a student at Sacred Heart University, is Easton's first college live-in volunteer emergency medical technician. He graduated from Duxbury High School in 2015, and you can get more on that story at eastoncourier.com. And in other news, Shelton Police arrested a mother and son for allegedly stealing tens of thousands of dollars from an elderly relative's investment accounts. 62-year-old Christina Ukanowitz and 29-year-old Joseph Ukanowitz, both of Canal Street in Shelton, are mother and son. Now, they were both arrested on warrants following a 2-year investigation conducted by Detective Stephen Adcox into the theft of tens of thousands of dollars from Christina's mother while Christina was acting as power of attorney. Now, according to police, the theft took place over a 3-year period while the victim was in her 80s. The victim's bank account and investment accounts went from having a combined balance of over $200,000 to having a negative balance of over $1,000 during the time that Christina was power of attorney. Now, through an investigation, detectives showed a pattern of spending and withdrawals that increased disproportionately from the time period before Christina took over to her time as power of attorney. The investigation also identified Joseph as being involved in the theft. During interviews with both of them, each admitted to a role in the theft but blamed each other for the majority of it. More on that story at sheltonherald.com. And the U.S. Marshals Violent Fugitive Task Force is seeking the public's help in looking for 2 sex offenders who have not complied with their court-ordered conditions of release. 69-year-old Francisco Galata and 31-year-old Koshan Grace are both charged with failing to register as a sex offender. Police said they are known to frequent the Bridgeport area, and anyone with information should contact the Fugitive Task Force at 203-410-9026. And in Richfield, a female driver crashed her Mercedes into a Danbury Road business around 9:40 in the morning yesterday. Police and fire crews responded to treat the woman and clear that accident. The woman was transported to Danbury Hospital. There was no damage to the building, which is owned by Richfield Dental Arts. An officer on the scene told the Richfield Press that the driver went over a small stone wall in front of the business before driving straight into the building. No charges have been filed at this time. Let's throw it back over to Frank Granito for one final look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you again, Kate. We're seeing another beautiful day here in Fairfield County. Plenty of sunshine with a high of 83 today. Could be a little increase in cloud cover later on, but we will see a light breeze around 15 miles per hour. Help keep these cool conditions around overnight with mostly clear skies and a low of 63. Warmer out tomorrow, but still a lot of sunshine as we get closer to the weekend. A high of 86 for Thursday, mix of sun and clouds, partly cloudy and humid overnight with a low of 70. Could be a passing shower or thunderstorm as well carrying into Friday morning, and it will be breezy and humid out on Friday. Temperatures in the low 90s, but that's along with 25 to 30 miles per hour winds. We're going to see a mix of sun and clouds through the day. Humidity continues on overnight. Temperatures in the low 70s. There'll be partly cloudy skies as we hit Saturday morning for the holiday weekend. That's going to do it for this weather update. We're back at 2 o'clock with Nutmeg Sports. Let's go back over to Kate, though, for now.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to wrap things up here in your coffee break. 12:30 CT Pulse coming up. We talk with State Senator Tony Wong about Connecticut State budget gridlock. That coming up at 12:30. And as Frank said, Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. And we'll see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.